Hey, Bill, I'm Cameron.
Cameron, nice to meet you.
Daniel and Ashley. Thanks for inviting us out to the public house on the lake. What a beautiful restaurant here on Route 5 in Hamburg. So I've heard there's some paranormal activities going on.
Yeah, over the years, there's a lot of things. Now and then everybody says, you know what happened to me, you know what happened to me. So kind of added it all together. There's been quite a bit over the years.
I see, Ashley, you're already wanting to say something, aren't you?
Yeah, we're not alone here. We kind of got greeted by somebody.
Okay.
It is a male. I do believe he passed away here. It was almost like he passed away suddenly. I get the name Brian right off the bat, so I don't know.
Does that rings a bell for you, huh?
A very good friend of mine, Brian bartended here for years. And a year ago last summer, he was bartending, he passed away.
This is very recent.
Oh, very recent, very recent. Within, not last summer, the summer before.
So he bartended here for a very long time, you said?
Well, off and on for probably 20 years.
20 years? Wow.
Yeah. He was part of the establishment of Route 5.
So he was very attached.
Oh yeah, very attached, and everybody loved him.
Well, I'm going to tell you tonight, he will be with us
That's
through
great.
this investigation tonight. Also, another thing is when I came in, it almost smells like remnants of a smoke fire at some point.
Yeah, a while back, the building, when it was Oscar's, the past owner and his wife owned it, was called Oscar's, and then they had a fire and pretty much burned down, and they rebuilt it with new additions and stuff as they went along. But it was a pretty good fire.
2 for 2. Anything else?
Not at the moment. We haven't even gotten to the door yet.
All right, great. So let's go talk to some of the employees and figure out some of the experiences that's been going on here and just try to get a general idea.
You want to go in the kitchen first?
Yeah, let's
Those
just go
guys
ahead
had
and
some
kitchen.
experiences in there.
All right. So you're the head chef here,
I am, yes.
Okay, so now this part of this building is obviously the kitchen. Now this is what the old Oscars used to be, the place that burned down.
Yeah.
Used to be right here in the kitchen.
This was correct. And this was where the original Rosenauer hotel was. This was the Rosenauer's bar and kitchen area for Rosenauer's back in the 40s and 50s.
So you guys are having some sort of unexplained experiences here that
Every once in a while,
happening
yeah.
in the kitchen.
One of our cooks was put in the cooler to get something, and it's not a very big cooler. We have produce on one side and dairy on another. He was getting something off the one side, and a bag of lettuce actually hit him in the back. There was nobody else's cooler.
One of those big bags of lettuce?
Well, one of the smaller bags,
Oh,
but
okay.
still, I mean, it's a 1 pound bag. I mean, it's not going to fall off
It's
by
like
accident.
he looked like
He did. He looked for who else
to
was-
see if somebody's
yeah.
there, and then you're just in a small cooler, like
Yeah.
there's nobody there.
Yeah, no, he's definitely in there by himself. A couple times with the lights being turned off at the end of the night and then coming back in and they're still on. The weirdest one I've ever experienced was I came back in and the water was actually running, and I was the last one out of the kitchen, and I know it was definitely not on when I left. Some of the lights and the water was running when I came back in.
So like somebody's still working, just doing
Almost like somebody was messing with you, but there was nobody else even there.
Okay, very curious. Especially that it's tied to a restaurant that actually burned down. Ashley, you're the one that said that you smelled the fire. So I mean, are you picking anything up here in the
I
kitchen?
actually get an older female that kind of has run the place as well. And it's almost like she's in here tinkering, doing things, making sure. And it doesn't seem like so much restaurant. You mentioned hotel. That's where I feel like she's coming from.
Rosenauer's.
Yeah,
Back to Rosenauer,
definitely. Yeah.
They were, when I was, let's say 10, 8 or 10, she was an older woman then. She was in her
So you
60s
know
then.
immediately who she's
Oh,
talking.
Mrs. Rosenauer, yeah. She ran the hotel with Mr. and Mrs. Rosenauer.
And you knew her personally?
Oh yeah. I lived right across the street. I could hit it with a rock over here. And my mother and father would come in here making dinner. We have hamburgers and pop, and my father had a couple beers. But this was part of our neighbors, a small neighborhood. We went to Rosenauer's and
So you think that this is Mrs. Rosenauer? Do you think she's still over here?
Because I knew that she was in the hotel part of it, the hotel aspect of it. And she's still walking through here and doing things as though it's her place.
Okay. Hopefully by the end of the night we can have some answers what's going on in the kitchen for you.
Cool,
Okay?
excellent.
All right, thanks
Thank you.
a lot.
Appreciate it.
The funny thing about it is anywhere I go in here I pick up things, but as I said earlier about the older lady, she is the older lady connected to the hotel. She is a very busybody, very moody to the T petite older lady, nose in the air, and just whipping around here. And if she doesn't think things are going the way that she would have them being ran, she will stop you in your tracks and she will let you know.
So you think that's what happened with the guy in the
Absolutely,
cooler?
absolutely.
So, Bill, we've come down to the basement. Now, is this the same foundation as the other restaurants before the fire, or is this was built
I
in
think-
1994 with the new restaurant?
The old owner, as he went along, he would make additions and make it bigger and bigger. I'm not sure what stage this was
Was
put
built
in, but this was, for all the 20-some years they were here, this was their office area. This is where they did all their paperwork, and you can see the beer. They got their deliveries and everything down here. The beer cooler's over here. This was the main working area for the old regime.
Okay, for the old regime, like Route 5.
Right,
Now,
the
you
Route
said
5
you were
aspect.
close with these.
Oh, yeah,
with
very
these people who
they're good
ran
friends of
it
mine,
Route 5.
right.
Now, did they ever tell you about any experiences they ever had?
Yeah, the girls, I used to come down, and the two girls used to sit in here, the wife and the sister, and the wife's sister, who was the banquet manager. And you'd come down, I'd come down and say hi, and they go, "You're not going to believe what happened. This pen was moving," and all this kind of stuff. And I would just like,
Things
yeah, okay.
moving, just
Yeah.
like in the kitchen.
Yeah, I would go, "Yeah, okay," and I wrote them off because I never personally saw it, but not a lot, but quite a few times they would say, "You're not going to believe what happened last night. You went not going to believe what happened this morning." And a lot of that stuff happened.
You picking up, Ash?
Definitely male energy, but it's like overwhelming. It's worry. It's worry. It's almost like, people are in their office and they're worried about the next payment for delivery, but it's heavy. It's definitely male, and it's almost like pacing, still doing work, pacing, and just worrying.
So it's like a stressful
Oh
existence.
my God, yeah.
Does it sound like the right guy?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hit the nail right on the head. Unbelievable. That's it. See the perfect picture at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a name?
Not at the moment. But
Is this the husband of the wife who's upstairs?
that I'm not sure, but I'm going to tell you right now that the energy with him is so overwhelming that if we did set up a session down here of any sorts or investigated, I do believe you'll get a lot, and I do believe he will not be happy at the fact that we're doing this down here.
Okay.
Very protective.
Absolutely.
Very protective.
100%.
And it's almost like I hear him cussing in my head already. Really laying the law down right now. So.
All right. So we have another employee who you picked up on as soon as we walked in, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just see if we can talk to Brian. He said behind the bar. Is where
Brian
he'd like to
passed
be,
away
right?
behind the bar.
Yeah, he was a bartender here.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
long
for
time,
years.
right?
Brian and Dave, Brian and the old owner were best of friends. And it had affected Dave quite a bit when Brian passed away. It really affected him because they were very, very close after all those years. Not only was it owner and bartender, it was best friends. They did a lot together, so it really affected the owner a lot when that happened.
How you doing, Matt?
How you doing?
I'm Cameron.
Nice to
This
meet
is
you.
Ashley.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So Ashley, right when we walked in, she said that she was immediately greeted by a man named Brian. Bill had acknowledged that there was a bartender here named Brian that was here when it was Route 5.
Right.
Now you were an employee here at Route 5 during
Yes.
this time, too, correct?
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit of the story of Brian and what he was like and maybe what
Yeah,
happened?
I mean, he was here way before I was. He's a good guy. He was nice. He was a lifelong bartender. He was a little bit older, but if he overworked himself, you could tell that maybe he needed to cool down a little bit. I mean, he collapsed behind the bar, had a heart attack. I mean, I've never experienced anything myself here as far as a connection with anything goes, but I mean, it was just scary. It's scary stuff. So
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, you said you were greeted by him at the front when we walked in. Are you still picking him up? Does he have anything he wants to say?
No, right now I think he's just kind of with us on the tour. A lot of things that I get from him is, I don't know, my chest just feels heavy, and I actually literally have pain in my chest. And you were talking about being overworked and things like that. I think and this is what it feels like to me, it's being overworked, but it just seems like he had personal problems. We have issues outside of the place, and coming in here and getting, bombarded with hard work and then having personal issues, it was like that perfect storm, and that's what it feels like. It feels like
my chest hurts, my chest feels heavy, I can't breathe, and my eyes close, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty scary.
Well, I mean, if Ashley's saying that, you know, he's here, we'll see what we can do to talk to him and see if he's got anything he wants to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks very much.
Thank
for
you.
sharing that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
This was another edition.
So when I first got here, you had asked us a question in this room. Did we come in here to unplug some of the lights that were?
Yeah.
So these lights were plugged in, they were on, and as we came into the building, something unplugged them from the wall.
Right. And the only people in here would have been me and Melissa, the only two servers on.
Let me ask you a question. Did you or Melissa pull that out of the wall?
No.
Because I know we did.
Well, she came running up to me. I just finished my shift. I'm sitting at the bar having a shift drink. She comes running over and immediately asks me in a serious way, am I messing with her? And I pulled the lights on. I said, no, I've been sitting here. So then I went outside and I asked you guys because, you know, you guys are here. And I've never seen anything like this stuff before. And I've been here twice, 2 different occasions. I've never seen anything.
What are you picking up, Ashley? You know who did it? You think you know who did it?
That's the same male that's with us right now.
Is it that Brian character?
Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like illness or heart-related issues with, I feel like I can't breathe. He is kind of the same height as you, glasses, balding, and he follows you around, and he wants me to ask you about, like, shortly after him passing over, there's dreams. You had the dreams that he had to come back to you, and he may have not talked to you, but it's kind of like, I'm okay. And he's like holding a cigarette. He like smokes like a chimney almost.
Wow.
Just holding a cigarette.
That's Brian.
That's Brian.
He wants us to know he's here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't think he's had the opportunity to really speak or say anything. And that just feels like another part of him, you know, the overworked or overwhelmed or having the personal problems and coming here. But there's a side of him that really truly loved this place. And he's a jokester.
For sure.
And he's a jokester.
Yeah,
That's what's
That was
He was part of this building.
That's
Yes.
what's going to bring you
Yeah.
back, you know, and when you pass on, what we found is that you go back to places that you loved in life, places that you were happiest in life, you know, and for somebody who bartended here for 20 years, I'm sure he had a bunch of good times here.
Oh yeah, he was.
So,
He was part of the restaurant. He was part of it. When Brian wasn't here when people walked in, the first question, where's Brian tonight?
yeah.
He was there all the time.
Well, he's still a part.
And
So
Brian, just hold out, buddy. We're going to be talking to you soon. We'll be talking to you soon for sure. So we've made our way down to the basement. We're going to try to do a ghost box session down here. Now you said that you felt like there was a gentleman down here.
Yes.
Racing, kind of
Pacing.
worried.
Yeah, pacing back and forth. You know, very overwhelmed, very worried. You know, a lot of it has to do with personal business, but personal and business aspect of his life. So I still feel that energy down here. So.
Okay. So let's set up this ghost box and see if we can get through to him. See what we're doing. I'm gonna put my K2 meter down too, just in case.
Okay.
So we're down here in the basement. I know we're probably not supposed to be down here, and you're not happy that we're down here, but we did want to try to communicate with you. Are you worried about something? Is there something that we can help you with?
have to do inventory and make sure our shipments are coming in. Is that all taken care of?
So I placed another device down here on the, hello.
Hello.
If you'd like to touch that device as well, you can make the lights go up. It'll allow us to know that you're here speaking with us. If you'd like to touch that, go ahead by all means. Just grab onto it or step on it or do whatever you need to do to show us that you're here. Now the person that just said hello, did that just go off?
Yes, it did.
Yes.
Please. What is your name?
It's the same male voice.
Yeah.
We're here to help. It's the same voice. What's the name? What's the name of your restaurant here? Billy?
Yeah, twice.
We're definitely, I mean, that's the same male voice coming through on all those stations. It's really crazy. I just can't make out what he's saying. Can you say something a little bit more clear to us so we know what you're trying to tell us? Can we have some free beers? What did it say?
I said sure.
This kitchen is where one of their employees, I guess his name is Fish, he got a bag of lettuce thrown at him while he was standing in the cooler.
Okay.
And they said that things move on the shelves. And this is the actual area where the old building used to be. Oscars. And that place burned down, and then on top of that foundation they built this new building. Right. So I'm not surprised if they're having activity in the kitchen, because this is where the old building is.
Right.
Okay, so we put a couple K2 meters on the ground. We just want to see if we can pick up any energy anomalies that are here in the kitchen. Now, when Ashley came here, she's immediately picked up on this woman, this older woman who is kind of in control, wants to be in control of everything, and she says she's very manic almost. Immediately that recognized with Bill as the old owner. This old lady that Ashley was talking about, she was supposedly associated when it was a hotel. All right, so let's see if we can ask her to communicate with us. All right, so I'm going to turn on our spirit box here, and we're going to start flying through some channels. Let this run normally without communicating with it, just to hear what's coming out of the box, see if we can pick up any interference or anything like that before we start using it for our experiments. Alright, so we got our spirit box running. It sounded like something sucked the energy out of that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to use this particular piece of equipment to communicate with any spirits that are here at Oscars or at the motel, the place that was burned down and that, used to be here before this building was built. I think that would have the correlation of what was being experienced by their employees here in the kitchen. Is anybody here from the small diner? The Inn on the Lake? Oscars? It was called at one time? Oh man, there's a huge spike.
And as that happened, it just went out in and out of focus.
That's the second. It's almost like corresponding. So some sort of energy is passing between us and the camera, and this K2 meter is picking it up. And that's the third time that it sounded like the actual radio waves are being drawn out of our speaker. Like it's not coming through for a split second.
Who's trying to talk to us? Why did you keep doing that?
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the theory. I mean, these spirits are gonna, be able to use other sources of energy since they don't have the body anymore, like that battery, that they'll be pulling energy from other sources, like our electric boat. So, it's almost like where that sound is gone, that energy's gone, it's like, there it goes again. Is this being drawn out by the spirit to try to recycle this energy and use it to manifest? And do these spikes on a K2 meter and alright, so we're looking to communicate with you. We're here. We want to know why you're still at this restaurant and why you're messing with the employees here. Not only is the sound going off, but the red light is dying down. It's being drawn down. I don't know if you can see it from that far away, but the red light that's telling us that our equipment is on. Every time that sound or that speaker noise gets sucked away, our red light does.
See? I've never seen that do that.
Yeah. And we do this
How many times
a
have we
lot.
used this?
Is there a woman here that would like to let herself be known? Someone who's in charge? And it's not like it goes away for like a split second, but it's that long hold. Are we not supposed to be back here? Look at the light.
Are you getting that? What are you trying to say? How can we help you?
One of those words is definitely help in the reply. Do you need us to help you?
I do.
Are you trying to leave here? Stuck and then like. Are you stuck here? Can you see me right now? Can you see me and my friend Lewis? I cannot explain what's going on with this piece of equipment. I mean, obviously this isn't a broken piece of equipment.
No.
No malfunctioning. These wires I switched out and put in today. Brand new batteries, brand new everything. I mean, there's no reason, no explanation for what's going on here. It's not faulty equipment.
No.
So this is put in brand new in 1994 after Oscar's burned down. So, I mean, still it's 20 years old. Now, we were talking about that Brian. They said he died behind the bar.
Yeah, I'm thinking right in this area, it should be good.
Like, by the door?
Like, right here. Right here.
Like on this side of the bar?
Like he's tending bar, right there.
Okay, why don't we, let's go back there. Let's go back there. So you're thinking like right here?
Like right here.
Is where he died?
This vicinity, yeah.
Okay, and now is he trying to communicate with you at all throughout the night? I mean, has he been...
He's been with us pretty much the whole night.
So he's just paying attention?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This
Okay.
is like home for him. This is a special place for him. This is important.
Well, it's important for a lot of people, and if he is able to come forward and speak with us, not only would that help him, in many ways trying to, be here, but also a lot of other people.
Yeah.
To know that he's still here and, he was so beloved by the community that came here. So let's give him an opportunity to say hello.
Okay.
Okay? So we're just going to throw up some K2s. I want one kind of picking anything outside the bar, but I want one picking up behind the bar too. And right away we're getting a pretty big
Right here.
anomaly for coming from behind the bar, because this K2 meter is a tri-field meter, so it'll measure EMF straight and to the right and the left of the piece of equipment. So whatever's going on behind the bar here is pretty steady. And you want to just step back just to make sure everybody knows it's not you, or it not even got bigger as you moved away. Pretty steady. Pretty steady. Let's see. Brian, if let's just move this away here. Yeah, it's still going. Brian, if that's you, I need you to confirm that we're talking with the right guy, and I need you to let go of that meter so the lights do not shine anymore. Alright, honestly, I think this is pretty poor. See? No?
It's gonna fall.
Huh?
It's gonna fall.
Alright, so this K2 meter is not going off at all.
Whoa.
This one is picking up some sort of energy, and then there's a little spike here.
Now it's gone.
But that energy is consistently going on back here.
It's gone.
Okay.
Look at
Now
it.
I'm gonna. Did he let go? Did he let go?
He's letting go. And
Brian, we want you to let go. He's like he's teasing. They said he was a jokester. He was a funny guy.
Big jokester.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something that they told me. He did die right here. And he had the heart attack basically right where I was standing, and he fell backwards into the door. See, now it's responding. Brian, I'm going to put out some audio equipment, and we want to hear your voice. We want to give you an opportunity to say hello to us and to the people out here that are coming to this place still here today and trying to know if you're okay. So we're going to try to ask you a couple questions, and I'll put this right next to the anomalies we're getting here. Ashley, why don't you start us off?
Brian, if you're here, can you maybe say something into the recorder?
Brian, if you're here, can you tell us if this place looks much different from when you were employed here as a bartender?
A lot of people want to know that you're safe, you're in a safe place. Are you okay, Brian?
Boy, this place gets pretty quiet after dark, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I have goosebumps.
Oh, look at this.
Now I got.
Did you see that?
Yep, that one's.
Now it's over here. Now, mind you, this K2 meter is going to measure straight in front of it and to the right and the left, and this one would measure this way and to the right and the left. Now they're both going off. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
There is. You talk so fast.
He's talking fast?
Um,
I mean, just look at the energy level. I mean,
I
it's just
know.
sporadic. It's like
he's okay.
manic going on.
He's okay. And the thing about him is he never put, and this is what I'm getting from him. He never really, wanted to put his personal business out there. He's kind of the happy-go-lucky guy, jokester type guy. Now, this is to a female here that was working here at the time. It was his time to go, so there was nothing you could have done to save me. So whatever guilt someone feels, whatever sadness that they could have done more, could have tried harder, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense. I mean, obviously,
there's nothing this woman could have done.
if anybody's, this guy worked here for 20 years. This was
Yeah.
like family for
Yeah.
his employees. So,
Yeah.
Any close person dies, there's always some sense of I could have done more, or I
Yeah.
could have done something to help.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're getting a reaction from what we're talking about here. Brian wants whoever this woman is
Yeah.
to know that he's okay and it wasn't her
It
fault.
wasn't
and
anything that could have been done to help him in any way. It was his time.
It's his time. Wow, look at this. Now we're getting that just to confirm. As soon as we said it was his time,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's. Holy shit! Do you hear that?
What was it?